Since LeBron won his last title in 2020, the Lakers had a first, an exit, followed by entirely missing the playoffs last season. Now, the Lakers are currently sitting in 7th in the West. If they don't move, they're going to land in the play-in tournament with 2 games remaining in the regular season. Shannon, okay, let's assume the Lakers make it into the play-in, not the playoffs. How important would next week be to LeBron's legacy?
None. It's funny how we try to create this narrative that if LeBron doesn't make it to the playoffs or win the playoffs. So Kobe's last 3 years, he didn't make the playoffs. How did that impact his legacy? Did it change anybody's perspective of who and what Kobe Bryant is? No.
Well, he was injured a lot.
So
right?
So it should have been. Yeah. So hold on, wait a minute now. I thought legacy is playing and being able to get to the playoffs. How's that LeBron's fault? Kobe played 6 games, 35 games, 16 games. Yeah. He averaged 14 points, 22 points, 18 points. Michael, his last 2 years, he went to the Wizards. Did he look like the Michael Jordan that won the title 3 times consecutive twice?
Nobody been out for 3 whole years.
So how did that impact his legacy? Retiring the first time and coming back, getting knocked out of the playoffs in the first round, retiring for 3 years, coming back and not making the playoffs.
But most people accepted his legacy just ended with holding the pose in Utah in '98.
So LeBron's legacy didn't end. Didn't end with him passing Kareem?
No.
Oh, so why not?
No.
Why not?
Well, I don't
you want to end? See what you want to do. Everybody wants to end their greats on a high note. Oh, this is George Lake, but he played. He played 2 more years after this.
Okay.
Kobe won his last title in 2010.
Okay.
He retired in 2016. So did that impact his legacy?
2 nights ago, what did LeBron do in the second half?
Skip. He scored 30. They lost the game.
Okay.
But that game didn't impact LeBron's legacy.
Is it my turn?
No, but I'm just saying, why do we keep trying? LeBron is averaging 29 points a game in year 20. Last year, he averaged 30 points a game in year 19.
Okay.
So how is that helping his legacy? We don't mention anything about him doing what he's doing at the right age.
Expectations remain very high because he's mostly been healthy and he continues to play at an extremely high level.
So have we ever seen a player have these kinds of expectations this late in their career?
No, because we've never seen a player play this well this late in their career.
Should be why can't that be the narrative? Why can't that be how great LeBron is playing, adding to his legacy? Okay. Only if he doesn't do something does it take away from his legacy. Not if he does something good, adds to his legacy. Okay. We only want to subtract. No pluses, only minuses.
Okay, but what did we see the last 2 years? We saw him 2 years, this is after the bubble championship.
Yep.
Then they lost in the first round to Phoenix. Phoenix was very good at that point.
Both guys, but AD got hurt and Bron was limping it going into the playoffs.
Was he? I don't remember him.
Yeah, you remember the man stepped on. You remember what Solomon Hill did? Oh, Solomon Hill all of a sudden was a linebacker.
But he came back after that.
He wasn't the same. You know that.
Okay, but they lost in 6. In Game 5, he infamously vacated the bench with 6 or 7 minutes left to go and walked up the tunnel and said, I just can't watch this anymore, right? And then they got closed out in 6, I believe, back at Staples, right? Okay, so they lost in the first round, and then last year, they just flat out missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was in large part because LeBron campaigned, pushed for, encouraged Lakers management to go get Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
And to your credit, you said, I don't love this.
It ain't gonna work, no.
Yeah, and I just was adamant about that will not work. It was a swing and a miss. The first basketball IQ swing and miss in LeBron's career where he has the highest IQ, and I'm like, what are you thinking? I keep asking, what do these players see in Russell Westbrook other than he averaged a triple-double for 4 of the last 5 years?
He played hard.
Okay, he plays hard, but they have awe for him. They put him on a pedestal that I have never put him on.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. Everybody applauds him from a distance. Nobody says, I would love to play with him.
Well, I don't know. LeBron said he wanted to play with him. Yeah, okay, and I believe AD was right there with him.
Yeah, that's what happened. But I'm talking about all these other players.
Yeah.
But Skip, they keep saying, oh, this, and this. But when did he lead the team to the playoffs? When did he Skip, to a championship?
I've been asking that since KD days back in Oklahoma City. Help me out. Show me.
Look.
How does playing hard and stuffing the stat sheet every night, how does it impact the scoreboard?
I think Russ is a great guy off the court. I think a lot of guys, because I think some guys are like one way on the court and they're entirely different way off the court.
I'll give you that.
And so I think people really like the person that Russ is off the court. And I'm not saying that he's a bad player on the court. I just don't believe his style of play is conducive for winning a championship.
It is
that's where I am with that. I think he's a phenomenal player. I love what he does in the community. Guys, like I said, I haven't heard a guy say anything negative about Russ.
No. But it's hard when he is your starting point guard.
True.
He's not just complimentary, he's the floor general, right?
Yes.
He initiates, he orchestrates, and as you know, he is a turnover machine.
Right.
So your orchestration can go sour south because it gets off on the wrong foot because he turns the ball over so many times.
Right.
Okay, so here we come to this year. And we talked about this earlier. You can look back at 15 games. I believe the Lakers were in position to win by closing the deal in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Some of those games were LeBron's fault. Many of those games were AD's fault, missing late free throws, just disappearing, whatever. It was a combination of your two superstars allowed the opponents to steal games for you. I got 15. I could go back chapter and verse on all of them. And they're pretty shameful losses. Yet, in the end, the Clipper loss, which was more the Clippers being great than you being bad,
right?
It is going to relegate you to the play-in. So all of a sudden, LeBron has put himself in position of being indicted by Twitter or whoever, by Laker Nation. Let's just do Laker Nation, because he's still playing at such a high level that he did something the other night against the Clippers in a loss that I still can't even fathom. I can't get it to go in my psyche where I can wrap my head around it.
Right.
Shannon, only LeBron James could have done this. I would say he's the most interesting man in sports. Well, only he could pull off a 3-point first half followed by a 30-point second half in a back-to-back after he had to play extended minutes. What was it, 38 total at Utah? 38 minutes at Utah, including 5 hellacious minutes trying to redeem yourself in overtime. And then you just completely ghost the first half. You were so out of it that I've never seen you play a worse half. And then, to me, under the circumstances, you played your greatest half ever. You made 12 of 14 shots. You got hot from 3.
Right.
You were unstoppable going to the basket. I don't know. It was a tour de force, but you couldn't overcome the hot hands on the other side, mostly from, as you know, but in the end, Bones Highland is scoring 14 points.
And Normal Powell, they couldn't keep him off the free throw line.
Off the free throw line. He made all 10 of his free throws. Okay, so my point is, it sets up the expectations of, wait a second, LeBron passed Kareem, and the other night he scored 30 in the second half, and he's in the play-in tournament?
But
okay.
Think about this, Skip, but you're asking a guy.
Yeah.
We're asking a guy to do something that we've never asked any other player in NBA history, to have the expectations of Tim Duncan didn't have Tim Duncan played 19 years. Tim Duncan did not have the expectations. He had greater players around him. He had a young Kawhi. Tony Parker was still there. Manu Ginobili was still there.
Yeah, they were still in their primes.
Kawhi wasn't even in his prime. Kawhi hadn't even scratched the surface of his prime yet. Because it was only in his second year when he won the title.
I agree.
So that's a whole different situation. So to add to
I mean, if they had flamed out and failed miserably, most people would look at what did Tim do?
They didn't look at Tim. Skip, we saw Tim. Skip, Tim was not the same player when they won that last title.
No.
But LeBron is still playing at an elite level.
That's my point. It sets him up for indictment where you say, LeBron, if you can do that against the Clippers, and they're a good team, Kawhi guarded him the whole second half. Kawhi couldn't stop him.
No, but
he looked like he was 28.
But see, that's the narrative that was created, that Kawhi could ever stop LeBron, and he couldn't.
Yeah,
he never could. Never.
Maybe in his youth and
not on his best.
Not stop him, but he could bother him.
Yeah, bother me. So LeBron, instead of getting to 33, he'd get 28.
Okay, I got it. All right. So the point is this: all of a sudden, if they have to play the Pelicans, albeit at home, on Wednesday night, it looks like it's setting up for that.
Yeah.
the spotlight, in the end, it goes on LeBron because he's LeBron freaking James.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And in one game, anything can happen.
And it's a one or done deal.
Yes.
You get a,
well, you got a reprieve because it's the 7th seed. But I'm just saying, one game, you can lose.
And you can put yourself in huge jeopardy because then you get another home game against the winner, we think, the way it sets up right now, of Minnesota versus Oklahoma City. Well, let's say Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma City. I watch them. I watched them last night take Utah apart in the fourth quarter. They're interesting because they're all young. They don't know better. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a star. He is a 30-a-night star. And he does it efficiently and effectively and not spectacularly. He's the guy you look up and you say, wait, he got 30 tonight? Yeah, he got 30.
Skip, I guess I just look at it like I don't believe that once you've accomplished something, it can turn. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. I don't think Kobe's last 3 years tarnished his legacy, or at least because people still, I mean, out there with a video of LeBron. I mean, guys is talking about LeBron win a ring. Bro, I brought a ring to the Lakers. Well, Kobe would never. Well, Kobe missed the playoffs the last 3 years.
Okay, but as you point out, he was hurt, and hurt some more. And his body just completely broke down and betrayed him. But
I also saw a clip when they asked Kobe what happened. Kobe said, that back-to-back, I just ran out of gas. So this notion that LeBron James is only the only great player that's ever complained of a back-to-back and said I was tired is just not true, because people want to create a narrative that LeBron whines and LeBron does this when all the other great players before LeBron have said and done the exact same thing.
Except once upon a time, everybody played every game. Yeah, they didn't even think about it.
But Skip, that was in the 80s and 90s. Okay. That's been long time ago. Ain't nobody. The likelihood, hold up, who is playing all these games? Somebody's played like 90-something games in a row, and they're like applauding. Skip, these days, ain't no AC Green. You're not finna get no AC Green. His record is, you talk about what record is unbreakable? AC Green's record is unbreakable.
I'll buy that.
Nobody's playing 1,000 straight, I think, 1,000, 1,100 straight games anymore.
Okay, but you don't hear me take 1 second's issue with LeBron for not playing a back-to-back. I was applauding him for, wait, you're going to play back-to-back against the Clippers?
And look what he gave you. I mean, if somebody would have told you, based on his age, his time in the league, that he could still summon it up, and especially after the first half, hell, I didn't think he was going to come back out of the locker room.
I told you, it was upside down. It made absolutely no sense.
No.
He ran out of gas in the first half, and then he gassed up at halftime.
Yep.
Who could do that? I give you full credit for that. My hat is off. Boy, I almost stood up on this table and applauded. In the second half, the energy, the attack mode that he was in, okay? So it's not going to pay off into the whole goal was get me another week off. Right. Get me the 6th seed so I don't have to mess with this silly play.
Well, how about this, Skip? Go ahead and take care of business on Wednesday, and you still can get a couple of days off. You might not get the rest that you would have gotten had you been the 6th seed, but anything is better than nothing.
But when the plan was first broached or announced,
he hated it.
What superstar said?
It's a dumb idea.
That's a dumb idea. Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Right.
Who came up? He asked, who came up with this idea?
Right.
Okay, well, now he's stuck having to deal with this idea.
Right.
It is beneath his dignity.
Right.
He just passed Kareem Abdul. He's the greatest scorer in NBA history, and he's relegated now, it appears, to play a one-shot deal, a play-in. I don't even like the sound of it, right? It sounds like LeBron James shouldn't have to play a play-in.
They need to make a decision, Skip. What are these games? Because they say they don't count for the regular season. They don't count for the postseason. So it's almost like guys are getting stats, but going where? The NBA needs to make a decision, Skip. Is this a regular season game or is it a playoff game?
I don't know, because nobody can figure out what it is.
Skip, it's got to be something, though. You just can't play a game, a meaningful ball game, and the stats don't matter.
Well, now we're down to you played 82. Not that anybody plays all 82, but you had an 82-game schedule, and now it's a do or die.
Yeah.
The first one's not completely do or die for the 7-8 seed, but it can be for 9. It is for 9-10, and then it can be for the loser of the
7-8.
7-8 because they could lose again at home and they're out.
Right.
Okay.
We're not losing.
Okay.
We're not losing the first time.
All right. So I think the fans like this. It's
of course.
I mean, I'm into
I think the fans like Skip because the regular season is coming down to the end. If you like the NFL, Skip, if you notice, basically the last week of the regular season is all division games. Yeah. So ain't no ducking, ain't no resting. And now you only got one bye. Well,
remember, going back 2 years ago when they lost to Phoenix in the first round, they had to get through the play-in. Mm-hmm. They had to beat Steph. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we got it. You see, Bron, when Draymond hit Bron and I,
and
he had one eye closed, and he let that three go.
He made a three, and he said, I was seeing 3 rims.
Yeah, you out there like Bushwick Bill, my eye.
No, it's like, let's make a deal. Is it behind door 1, 2, or 3? And he said, I just picked the middle door.
Hey, he shot it. I just saw it throw his head up there. I can't see nothing.
Yeah, it was vintage LeBron. He couldn't see, and he made a 3.
Yeah, you saw that? Okay. And you saw what he did in the second half Wednesday night, right?
I saw it. I told you it was all-time.
Watch you pick right up where he left off for tonight.
Okay, that's what everybody is saying. Wait a second, LeBron's in the play-in? We'll watch him pick right up on Wednesday night against the Pelicans. They are dangerous. They've won 8 of their last 10.
I remember they used to say that about us. Y'all in the wild card with John Elway and this one and that, but y'all in the wild card. And at the end of the day, we had the trophy with Commissioner Tagley Boo. From the wild card.
How many times did you wild card to the trophy? Twice? In Denver both times?
No, Denver and Baltimore. Once in Denver, once in Baltimore.
Were you a wild card in Baltimore?
Yeah. Tennessee, we were in the division with Tennessee. Tennessee won the division. They did. We were 12 before they were 13-3.
So you had to go to Tennessee.
I had to go to Tennessee
to beat them. Mm-hmm. Was that the first game?
That was the first game. We beat them the first time they had ever lost in Adelphi.
Yes.
Which was 4 weeks earlier. We beat them in their building.
Okay.
And then we went back.
Did you have another playoff game before that?
Yeah, we beat the Broncos.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We did.
All right. Well, so you know wild cards.
I know. Hey. We take our show on the road, Skip.
Yeah.
Hey, we musicians. We musicians. We the Stones. We the Beatles. We sell out. We Wembley. We don't care where we go. Really? Rose Bowl. Sell it out.
Are you talking about the Lakers or
the Lakers? Us. It don't matter.
Ravens.
The Lakers say we don't care. We go on the road. We take our show on the road. Take it on the road. Go to Memphis. As a matter of fact, we're going to see Graceland while we're there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go by the Lorraine Hotel.
Are you suggesting that LeBron is bigger than Elvis?
You know what, Skip? I was thinking that. Were you thinking that too? Yeah. I was thinking that too.
I thought you were going to go there. I think that would be blasphemous on Beale Street, right?
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody bigger than, not Memphis. Ain't nobody bigger than Elvis. Not in Memphis, not in Tennessee.
We're not going to take kindly to that, Shannon.
Not in Tennessee.
That would be bulletin board material.
Absolutely.
Guys, let's poke our head in on the Masters when we come back. Do you think Tiger made enough progress yesterday, did enough to make the cut? Let's discuss.